Hi everyone! So I am doing another video that I've wanted to do for many years. I am going to do a look from Kevyn Aucoin's book, Making Faces. So I've had this book for many years and I've never directly recreated anything from this book, but I've wanted to. And there's a couple in here that are really like top of my list to recreate, but I think it'd be really fun to like eventually get through all of them. That was something that I wanted to do when I originally bought this book, and I bought the book back, I think it was like 2012, 2011. It was a while ago anyway, and it was one of those goals I'd had for myself, was to improve my makeup skills and try and recreate some of these looks. And I had wanted to do it for my YouTube channel for a while, and I felt really nervous about it. I kept like waiting for like an appropriate time, I guess. There's some videos which I've started to do recently which I just kept putting off because I would tell myself like, well, I don't look good enough to be able to do this, or my skills aren't good enough to be able to do this. And the whole point of it is to have fun with it and to do it because I want to do it. And I just thought it'd be fun to share stuff, especially because I did do the one from 1989 where I followed the pictorial from the book, and I want to do more from that as well. But I kind of want to jump around and play with some stuff from the 90s like this. And I have some like little makeup, not really pictorials, but some pictures with sort of written descriptions from magazines from the early 2000s, and I just thought it would be fun to do stuff like that. That's stuff that I've wanted to do for a while. So anyway, instead of sort of waiting for a rainy day, so to speak, I thought that I would just start doing it now. So the first look I've decided to do from this book is this look with Tori Amos. It's called The Innocent, and I will read the little blurb about the description. The thing I love so much about this book is that each one of the specific look used on some sort of like famous face all has a story to tell, and you can really get a sense for this sort of character just by looking at the image without knowing sort of the title of the image or reading the description. You just get a sense for it, and this picture has captivated me for so many years, for the longest time, and I really mean probably for a good solid year. I literally just had the book open to this page and would just stare at this photo like every day because it was just so inspiring. So the description of The Innocent is: at the turn of the century, rouge and lipstick were the emblems of ladies of the night and roadshow actresses, both seen at the time as women of ill repute. Virtuous females, however, may have affected a rosy glow, but never of the intensity of their sullied sisters. The aptly named The Innocent transcends the shameless moralizing with Tori Amos's timeless modern-day Botticelli-esque beauty. The faraway dreaminess is played up with soft, slightly shimmery makeup and looks as though she has just stepped out of a beautiful oil painting. There are no definite lines, not even on the lips, just creamy accentuation. I love that line, that no definite lines, just creamy accentuation. Now, I had a bit of a hard time finding products to sort of match what was described here. So the list of products, which I love as well, makes it very easy to go through, but it's tweezers if needed, brow pencil, shimmery liquid foundation and sponge, pink creme blush, white iridescent creme eyeshadow, brown creme eyeshadow, eyeshadow brush, eyeshadow eyelash curler, and black mascara, flesh tone lip pencil, cotton swab, and clear lip gloss. So I don't have a whole lot of cream eyeshadows, but I found a couple of things that I think will work to achieve this sort of general vibe. I even dug out my shirt and I just wanted to do the whole thing and just have fun with it. And I think I'm going to put on my curly wig as well. That's kind of my plan. My hair was a little bit curlier today, but it never looks good on camera anyway. Even when it like in person, it looks like kind of defined ringlets. I notice on camera, it never ends up looking that way. So I'm not going to do too much to my eyebrows. I feel like Tori's eyebrows too are quite bushy in that 90s way that really, we saw a lot of overplucked stuff in the late 90s and kind of early 2000s, and I could definitely do some work with my brows. However, I have been a little torn as to what to actually do with them, because I used to completely shave off like the tails of my brows. Just not like a lot of the brow, but just like a tail of it. So I'd redraw it, but I haven't been filming enough to kind of warrant that in my opinion. So I've just kind of been letting them be. The only time it really bothers me is close-up photos for Instagram stuff, and I can see like the stray wonky brow hairs. So I've thought about trying to do something like that. I do have these little wax strips that I will use to kind of clean up the brows a little bit, but I don't mind more of an unkempt brow. It's funny how brows used to be one of those things that like nobody ever really did. I never really thought much about brows back in the 2000s. You just kind of left them be. And I think that's evident in sort of some of the media you watch from those times. If you look at sort of, you know, obviously people in movies and stuff like had their full faces done, but you can see just the difference as time has gone by. Anyway, so I'm just filling in and brushing at the same time. That's the first step. I always try and draw in a little bit without too much of a harsh line. I like to have my brows kind of filled in even when I'm not doing much makeup, and this is truly very minimal makeup with not a lot of product, which I like and appreciate. So the next step is to apply shimmery liquid foundation. So I am mixing together the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Liquid Glow Illuminator with the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude True to Skin Natural Glow Foundation. So very grateful. I had a friend who passed this on to me because it wasn't a good shade for her. So I love that. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of that with the True Match Lumi, which is a liquid highlighter, just to try and give it shimmer. So, because what it says apply shimmery liquid foundation all over the face to give it a glow. This will naturally highlight parts of the face. For this photo, the foundation was applied on the neck, shoulders, and collarbone. One of the looks I really want to do from this book is with Gwyneth Paltrow, and it's called the Ingenue, and it's like really like gold shimmery foundation, and I love it because it's got these mascara wand marks like under the eye and on the eyelids to kind of like simulate like crying, and I love the stories that these images tell. It's so beautiful and it's so inspiring, even though the makeup is not, in most cases, very elaborate. You know, that's one of the things that I really love about these sort of makeup books, is that the makeup is not extreme. They're very simple with a story that goes along with it, and it all makes sense. And that's one of the things that I think makes Kevyn Aucoin's makeup style so legendary, is like he always focused on the true beauty of someone's face and never tried to create a new face on top. Like he was not doing an illusion, and there wasn't like a intense contouring or anything. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that at all. You know, I love a good contour. I love, you know, being able to fix and cover things I don't like, but I feel like he really just accentuated, and so many of his clients just ended up looking like the best versions of themselves. And I feel like that's something that a couple of them said. I know there's a Kevyn Aucoin documentary, which is actually really sad, but definitely worth a watch if you are interested. And I wonder what he would have ended up doing. I wonder how he would have adapted his techniques with what became more popular. I wonder if he would have had a YouTube channel or something. It's kind of interesting to think about how that would be. So anyway, I just mixed my foundation together and just blending it into the skin. I do feel like it's very light, and I don't know if it's as shimmery as the photo, but I think there's also some sort of tricks of the lighting going on there as well with the Tori Amos photo. So the next step 4 is dot pink cream blush onto the apple of the cheek, temples, and chin. Then blend well with your fingertips. So I have this Sephora one that I dug out. This is Peony, And we are going to, what's this? Apples? I love, like, there's so few tools used here. It's really just making use of your fingertips. It is, like I said, so simple. The next step is apply white iridescent cream shadow to the entire eye area with the fingertip. So I don't have a white cream eyeshadow, so I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo eye pencil in Milk with a powder eyeshadow on top. So I'm gonna essentially, so the entire eye area. So this is what we are looking at here. So this is the white base, basically. And I really am applying it, like blending it with my fingertip from lash line to brow bone. It's really just looking kind of very soft. Oops. And then I have this MAC eyeshadow in Dazzlelight, which is a Volux Pearl shadow, and to give that sort of more iridescent shimmer, I am lightly layering that on top because I feel like that will give more of that sort of glow that it looks like it's in the photo, since I didn't have a white cream shadow. Like, I feel like at the time when this book was released, it was much easier. With just a little bit of that shimmer, this is what it looks like right now. Very, very subdued. The next step is brush brown cream eyeshadow into the crease and softly under the eye using a shadow brush. So this was a little bit trickier. I thought I was almost going to entirely have to sub out cream shadow for powder, but I did find this Laura Mercier Caviar stick eye color. This is the shade Amethyst, but it looks more brown. In the image, it actually looks gray. So cream eyeshadow into the crease and softly under the eye. So what I'm going to do first is just there is someone outside running in the hall being very loud right now. I don't appreciate that. Okay, so underneath the eye, and then I'm gonna try in the crease. I couldn't quite get the product to apply directly onto the brush. I feel like I just have to use the brush to kind of blend. And then sort of the same thing on the bottom, going for that sort of no definitive lines, just creamy accentuation as per the write-up. And I know I'm applying a cream product on top of a powder, which would have normally been like, okay, it would have been fine to just use powder on top of it, but I did put a light layer of that MAC shadow on top of the fairly sticky base, so it was still sticky. It wasn't like a completely set base or anything, so. Now, this is more in the image and not in the description, but it does seem a little bit more winged out. So I just brushed a little bit more of that shadow and I'm just kind of dragging it out. Again, I'm not going for the definite lines, just trying to bring like a little bit of that definition. I might come back, I'm not sure, but I kind of like the way that it is, very simple. Next is to curl lashes. And then apply some mascara. It says specifically apply the lightest bit of black mascara. Next is outline the lips with flesh tone pencil and soften with a cotton swab. I'm using a Bite lip pencil. This is number 20. This was an old one anyway. Now, I couldn't find a cotton swab, so I figured my finger would work. And then the final step is with your fingertip, apply clear lip gloss to the center of bottom lip and smack. So I got some clear gloss. Oh, I did that wrong. Have it. Okay. So one thing I am going to do, and it's probably because of the lighting right here, but that's one thing you can control that's one thing you can control with like a photographer and like editing and stuff. But I'm going to put a little bit more blush on. So I definitely feel like a little bit of that color is missing. I'm just going to take that beauty blender that I'd used for my foundation and kind of use that to lightly mesh it all together. Okay, so I'm gonna go put my curly wig on and try and have this little to the side thing. I know people kind of always make fun of YouTubers who say like, I'm gonna do this thing and be right back. I like to say it because I find it really jarring if you don't acknowledge it, and then when you come back you have to acknowledge it anyway, because people would be like, hey, you did something different. So anyway, that's why I always say I'm gonna be right back. So anyway, I'm gonna do the wig and see what it ends up looking like, and I'll also try and insert some photos as well with sort of editing with like the lighting editing and that kind of stuff, which is generally what I only do to my photos anyway, just to see what that kind of looks like. Because I know with the studio lights I have on me right now, everything looks very minimal, but I feel like it can translate closer-ish. Okay, so I put my wig on, which is not quite Tori Amos hair, but I'm gonna try and like get some images that would kind of reflect it a little bit, stare away kind of dreamily. Listen to a sort of fairy tale. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me while I lived my fantasy life recreating this simple, beautiful, innocent makeup look. Let me know if there are other videos you would like to see from me. I would very much like to hear from you. Thank you so much for hanging out once again, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.